Hello everyone, you're welcome to today's class. So in this class, we continue from where we stopped. We're still on matrices, and we want to look at, we've talked about transpose of a matrix. We want to look at inverse of a matrix. Now, when we talk about, and under this, we'll be looking at this. We want to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrices, of 2 by 2 matrix in this video. So specifically, so we'll look at that, then we'll look at examples on how to find that. Now when we talk about inverse, what should come to your mind is that we're talking about reciprocal, something that's reciprocal of something. As reciprocal of 2 is what? 1 divided by what? 2, right? So it's something as what? Inverse, which can be written as what? 2 raised by minus what? 1. This is what we call what? Inverse. So this is what we want to look at in this way. Let's look at if we have two matrices, so P and Q matrices. If P and Q are two matrices, right? Now the product, if the product of P, the matrix P and Q, is the same thing as the product of multiplying Q by P, gives us a unit matrix. If when you multiply P by Q, or you multiply Q by P, and whatever you get gives you unit matrix. So such, which means that Q is an inverse of P. So which means this Q is the inverse of P. That means that we're saying that P multiplied by its inverse. And inverse of the matrix is written as raised by minus, as I've explained here, right? So this means that P multiplied by its inverse equals to, or inverse of P multiplied by what? P must give us unit matrix. What is a unit matrix? You have done unit matrix, which is when you have a matrix and the leading diagonal of the matrix gives you an identity which is 1, while the other diagonal gives you what? 0. This is a unit what? Matrix. So if we multiply this by this, we multiply a matrix by its inverse, or we multiply its inverse by a matrix, and we got this answer. That's what refers to as that Q is an inverse of P. Now let's look at how to look at it. For instance, if we have P to be a matrix P, let's look for example. So matrix P, which is this 2 minus 1, then we have 3, 5 here, right? Then we have another matrix Q to be 5, then 5, this will be 1, then this will become what? Minus 3, and this will become what? 2. So let's assume we have this. We want to multiply this, we want to test if multiplication of P and Q will give us identity unit matrix. So PQ now will then be that is 2 minus 1, then 3, 5, multiplied by 5, 1, then minus 3, 2. Let's see what we're going to get here, right? So 2, that is row multiplied by column. So 2 multiplied by 5, that is 10, plus minus 1 times minus 3, that is what? Plus 3. Good. Then 2 multiplied by 1, that gives 2. Then minus 1 times 2, that is minus 2, right? Then the next one, the next row is 3 times 5, that gives what? 15. Then 5 times minus 15, that is a plus minus 15, right? I hope I'm making sense. Then the next one, 3 times 1, that is 3, right? Then 5 times 2, that is what? 10. So let's see what we have. This is 13, and this is 0. This is 0, and this is what? 13. You can see what we have. We have a unit matrix. So by bringing it out, we're going to have 13 into what? 1, 0, 0, 1. So when you divide all the elements by 13, so this will be what? 1 all over what? 13 here, right? So let's check if Q multiplied by P will give us this identity as well. So that means we're going to have 5, 1, then minus 3, 2, multiplied by what? 2 minus 1, then we have 3, 5. So let's multiply these two together, right? So that means we have this 5 multiplied by this 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 10, then 1 times 3 plus 3. Then 5 times minus 1 is minus 5, 1 times 5, that is what, plus 5. Then minus 3 times this, that's minus 6, right? Then 2 times 3, that's plus 6. Then minus 3 times minus 1, that is what, 3. Then 2 times 5, that is what, 10. So we then have 13, we have 0, we have 0, we have what, 13. You can see that we have the same thing. So that means P and Q is an inverse of what? P. But one thing you should notice here is this. You will notice that, let me start with this one, this leading diagonal here. This is 2 minus 5. And you can look at the leading diagonal here, so it's also 5 minus 2. You can see that we interchange the element of the leading diagonal. So this comes to the first, while this goes to the back. And if you look at the other diagonal, you can see 1, 1, 3, 3. So we just change the symbol, the sign before the number, the elements here. So if this is minus, this will change to plus. If this is plus, it will change to what? Minus. So which means this matrix that we have there is an inverse of the second matrix. So if you are given something, for example, if I should give you 2, 4 minus 3, 5, and I ask you to find the inverse of this one, what are you expected to do? Just interchange this one, change the symbol of this one. So you change this one to 5, then you change this one to what? Plus, you change this one to what? Minus, then you change this one to what? 2. So this one is an inverse of what? Of this one. That is a simple explanation of inverse. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to look at formula for calculating inverse of the matrix, because the way the question will come is not going to be direct like as we have it this way. So let's look at an example here. A formula for finding inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. So formula for finding is we have this inverse, we have these matrices. So we're going to be is inverse, which is A inverse, will then be 1 divided by the determinant of A, right, multiplied by the interchange of this one. We are going to bring G up, then we change this to minus, change this to what? Minus, and we bring G A to this place. So this is what we call inverse of matrix A. So that's how to find, this is the formula for finding inverse of a matrix. So let's now look at examples now. Let's look at, so this is the first example. Let's look at the first example first. So find the inverse of matrix A. We want to find the inverse of this. Don't forget the formula we're going to make use of is this. So that means inverse A inverse is going to be the determinant 1 divided by the determinant of A multiplied by interchanging this. So this will become 6 now. 6 will come here, then minus 2 will come here. So this is turned to minus 4, and this turns to what? Minus what? 5. I believe this is clear. So in this case, let's find the determinant of A. So A determinant will be the multiplication of the leading diagonal, which is minus 2 times 6, so minus the multiplication of the other diagonal, which is 4 times 5. So that means we're going to have minus 12 minus what? 20. So that gives what? Minus 32. So which means we now come back to this formula, which is 1 all over minus 32 into 6 minus 4, then minus 5 minus 2. So that will then give us, this is scalar multiplication. We're going to multiply each of the elements by the fraction we have outside here. So that will give us this 6 divided by minus 32, then minus 4 divided by what? Minus 32, then minus 5 divided by what? Minus 32, then minus 2 divided by what? Minus 32. I believe I'm making sense. So we then divide. So whichever one that can go, 2 can go in this, 2 here, that will be 3, 2 in 32, that is 1, 6, that's 16. Then 4 can go in this one, minus we cancel minus. So 4 here, 1, then 4 in 32, that is what? 8. Then the lower part, minus we cancel minus, that we have 5 over 32 next, then minus cancel minus, then 2 here 1, 2 here what? 16. So this will then be the what? The inverse of this matrix is this. I hope this is very clear. So we look at the second example, and this is example 2, right? So if this matrix multiplied by this matrix gives this, what's the value of R? This question is jam questions. So if you look at this question, how are you going to do this? This is very straightforward. So it means that this is an inverse of this, or this is an inverse of it. For you to have a unit matrix there, it means that this matrix here is an inverse of this one. So what we are going to do is that we are going to, or this one is an inverse of this one. We find the inverse of this one, right? We find the inverse of this matrix. Then we now look at the element. See, this one equals to this one. So the element, after finding the inverse, this element will equal to this one, this element will equal to this one, this element will equal to this one, this element will equal to this one. So let's look at this. So which means solution to this will be, we find what? The inverse of this. That means we're going to have minus 2, 1, then 2, 3, inverse. That's what we're looking for. So we want to find the inverse of this one. So what we're going to do now, we find that will be 1 divided by the determinant of this, which will be what? Minus 2 times 3, that would be minus 6, minus 1 times 2, that is what? 2. Into, we interchange this one, this will become 3, this will be minus 1, this will be minus 2, and this will become what? Minus 2. Right? So we find this. So this will then give us 1 divided minus 6 minus 2, that is minus 8, into 3 minus 2 minus 1 into minus 2. So in conclusion, this will then become 3 over minus 8. Then this will become minus 2 over what? Minus 8. Right? Then this will become minus 1 all over what? Minus 8. Then this will become what? Minus 2 all over what? Minus what? 8. I believe I'm making sense. So that means that, so in reducing this to its lowest term, we're going to have 3 over 8 minus 3 over 8. Then this will become 1 over 8. Then this will become minus cancel minus. This is 1 all over 4. And this also become 1 all over 4. So since we have concluded that this one is an inverse of this one, and for the inverse of this one to be this one, so that means matrix PQRS is equal to this. This matrix is equal to what? This. That means we're going to have 3 over 8, 1 over 8, 1 over 4, 1 over 4. But the question asks you to find R. So which is P is equal to this, Q is equal to this, R is equal to this, S is equal to this. So therefore, R equals what? 1 all over 4. I believe this is very clear. So that is the end of inverse form. That's where we're going to stop in this video, and this is the end of this video. So if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to our channel, and make sure you turn your notification bell. So anytime I release video like this, you'll be able to get what? Instant notification of it and benefit from it. And you can also give us, if you find this video useful and beneficial to you, just give us a thumbs up and share the video with your friends and family. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next class.